Earlier this year, the Guyana Harpy Eagle won the regional 4-day cricket tournament. A month or so ago, the Guyana Amazon Warriors, they won the CPL. And starting Tuesday, Guyana will be looking to do the tour in this year West Indies cricket competitions. They will take on the Windward Islands in their first match on Tuesday, which is the second match. The combined colleges and campus squad has not yet been named, and that's the reason why this is the match that we're previewing for Tuesday. Now, standing in Guyana, Harpy Eagle, one of the challenges that they will face is the Windward Islands Volcano, who came second in the regional 4-day cricket tournament. It was a vital and crucial and stubborn innings from Kevin Sinclair, which allowed the Guyana Harpy Eagle to hold on to a draw in their match against the Windward Island Volcanoes. It was after that match that the present West Indies Cricket Board president fired Shirley Clark as coach of the Windward Island Volcanoes. The Windward Island Volcanoes end up coming second in the tournament, but that innings from Kevin Sinclair went a far way in Guyana Harpy Eagle winning the tournament. Hello everyone and welcome to the show. This is the Cricket Forum. And joining us this evening is our two resident analysts, Andre Douglas, who will be looking at the Windward Island Volcanoes, and with him is Bobby Brown, who will be looking at the Guyana Harpy Eagles. Hello gentlemen and welcome.
Hello and welcome.
So Bobby, what can you tell us about this Guyana Harpy Eagle squad and the playing 11 for the match starting on Tuesday?
Well, one thing I can tell you about Guyana, it looks the most balanced team in terms of, mixing youth with experienced players and also players who still have a fair chance of making it to West Indies. So, that's one of the things I like about Guyana. And
do you think realistically they have a good chance of pulling off the treble? Because they have already won the CPL and the regional 4-day cricket tournament. How do you rate their chances of pulling off the treble?
I rate their chance highly. I would say I give them probably a 90% chance of pulling off the treble because they still have, to me, they have one of the better, most balanced team in the competition.
Yes.
So I think they have a great chance of pulling off the treble.
Okay, tell me something. What is your take on the fact that Shamar Joseph is not in this Guyana squad? And should one of the other franchises have picked up someone like Shamar Joseph?
Yeah, I would like to see Shamar Joseph on the squad, but I could understand. He's just broken into what first-class cricket, so I could understand his exclusion from the team. But as far as I can understand, with the CCC team, players were supposed to, I guess, put themselves up on some type of, what would you call it now? Like what they did for CPL?
Contract?
Yeah, like I forget the name of it.
But with the CCC team, you have to be actually going to a university or a college in the region. That's why it is called combined. It is not the academic team. Now, we're looking at...
The thing though, Dennis Ramden was the captain last year, so I don't know if he was going to a school.
They usually get an experienced person to captain it on occasions.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. But we see with the England series coming up, followed by the Australian series, and players looking to get T20 franchise contracts all over the world, because really this is their final chance to really establish themselves before the World Cup. What are you expecting from this tournament?
Well, I'm expecting to see some good young players for the ODI team from the West Indies. For the West Indies. That's what I'm expecting. Because I think for the T20 team, I think pretty much 90% of the team is already picked.
Okay. Andre, what are you expecting from this tournament? I know you'll be talking about the Windward Islands. What will you be expecting from this tournament?
Um, it's good evening, Carlton. Good evening to Bobby and to the viewers all over the world. No, it's kind of really difficult, to tell. You know why I say that? Taking a look at the various teams involved, apart from the combined college team and the academy team, I realized that a number of players on the team, like the Trinidad and even like Jamaica to an extent, they're recycled players. They're players who have, to me, some of them are past their best. So it's difficult to really to have a measure as to what exactly are the objectives of some of these teams. When you look at Trinidad, for example, I think the average age of the Trinidad team is 31. The likes of Jason Mohammed, Darren Bravo, these players I doubt if they'll ever play for representing for the West Indies again. So it's kind of difficult to see exactly what are the objectives of the majority of these teams. What I'd have loved to see a lot more young players, given a chance. When I take a look at the Jamaica Scorpions, for example, they have no recalled
the wicket keeper,
who's 38, which is Chadwick Walton. It's quite baffling. So it is, to me, it's really hard to tell what are the objectives of this particular tournament based on the selection of the teams that we have participating.
All right, tell us a little about the Windward Islands squad, Andre, because you would have been assigned to tell us about the Windward squad.
Well, the Windward squad, and I think they have made strides over the past few years. And Windward cricket, they have made strides. I think they have a good experience of youth and good experience, in terms of youth and very experienced players. The likes of Johnson Charles and Fletcher, Sunil Ambrose, is mixed with the likes of Alec Athanase, and you have the likes of Kavim Hodge. So I think it's a good blend of experience and youth. So I think that they should equip themselves. They're pretty balanced in terms of batting and bowling. And I'm expecting to see, good performances from the Windward Island Volcanoes.
Bobby, on the screen there, that is your 11 that you expect to take the field for Guyana in Tuesday's match. And that match, I think, start 1 p.m. in Jamaica. I think it starts 1 p.m. in Jamaica on Tuesday. Tell us about why you decided to choose this 11, Bobby.
Well, to me, this is the most balanced 11 I could see out there. I would have to go with the two spinners because they are two of the most experienced guys, and I think they would have to play in any scenario for Guyana. The reason I would open with Tage and Kevlar Anderson. I would have Imlak at third. Then Hitmaya, he would have to be in the team because I'm pretty sure Hitmaya is going to get picked in the West Indies team as well for, his pass. And also Rutherford. He's one of the better batsmen in there. And I would have Kevin Sinclair batting at either six or seven. Because I think Kevin Sinclair is a good batter. I think he's a better batter than he's a bowler. And I think if Kevin Sinclair wants to make the West Indies team, he probably have to focus a bit more on his batting, maybe a true all-rounder. So that's why. And then for the Pacers, Shepherd has been great. probably over the last 10 months. He's one of the better West Indies bowlers in the white ball team. I think he just needs to work on his fitness, because every time when I watch him most times in ODI, over 10 when.
So we just seem to have lost. Oh, Bobby, you are back, Bobby.
I'm back.
Yes. You got a phone call.
Yeah. Somebody was calling me. So yeah, so Shepherd, and then for most of the time I'll go with the two pace bowlers who are decent in Beaton and also Neil Smith. Neil Smith can swing the ball. So, that's my reason.
Yeah, that's a very strong 11. That's a very strong 11, the assembly there, and with some good bowlers and some good batsmen, 3 pacers, 2 left arm spinner, a right arm off spinner. That's a very strong 11. You had put up on the screen.
Yes.
Andrea.
Yes. Agreed. I think it's a very, and it's quite. You have a lot of experience in that 11 too, in particular in the bowling department. Likes of Shepherd and the 2 spinners. They're a wealth of experience there. So it's going to be very, very difficult. This is a very good Guyana team.
So Andre, your 11 for the Windward Islands. This is your 11 on the screen that you think that will start the match on Tuesday. Right. Tell us about your 11.
Right. Right at the top of the order, I'll have Andre Fletcher and Johnson Charles. 2 of the more experienced batters in the region. We know Johnson Charles is quite explosive, so too Fletcher. But then I'll have Alec Athanaze, who I think is a very, very good young player, and we have seen what his class in terms of what he has produced and his capabilities for the West Indies thus far. I think he's a very, very good young player. At 3, I'd have Alec Athanaze. At 4, I'd have Sunil Ambrice. Sunil Ambrice has been, he has produced for quite some time for the Windward Island. He has always been a very, very good first-class cricketer. So, I think his experience will do well for the Windward Volcanoes at number 4. At 5, I would have Kevin Hodge, who I think is a very good technical player who can, who can really stabilize an innings and who can, put up really good scores. But I think I really have a top-heavy 5, really, top-heavy in terms of the first 5. From 6 down now, I think there's where you'd have a little bit of an experience in terms of the batting, from the middle to the lower order. The likes of Shadrach Descartes, he participated in the just concluded CPL tournament, but one thing I realized, he has the ability to score real quickly. He has the ability to hit the ball really hard. So I'd have him at number 6, and then I have the Tevin Walcott, who is the Bajan keeper, at 7. Then the 4 bowlers after that. No, the bowlers, we know that the likes of Sherman Lewis is a good medium pace bowler. Shamar Springer is also a very decent medium pace bowler, and then you have Larry Edwards and Kavim Hodge in the spin department, and also Alec Athanaze can give a few overs. So I think that they serve, this team is sort of balanced somewhat. But I think this
is also a very strong 11 that you have put up there. I think it's a very, very strong batting lineup indeed. Bobby, what do you think about this 11 that Andre has selected for the Windward Islands?
Yeah, it's a strong team, especially the batting. Strong top order to middle order. Just the bowling, is a bit probably inexperienced, because this time we'll have a lot of the senior guys batting and bowling. So, but it's a strong batting lineup, hard hitters.
All right, so Bobby, sticking with you, if you are to look at this Guyana playing 11, and you were to choose 3 players who you think are going to stand out in that opening match, or maybe the tournament overall, who are those 3 players that you expect to stand out for Guyana in the tournament overall?
Well, Gudekish Mauti, he has really impressed me over the past maybe 6 months. The next one is Romario Shepherd. You know, he has been great, very good. I think, you know, he has cemented his spot because before the talk was either him or Odin, but I think, you know, he has cemented his spot for now in the West Indies. And also Kevin Sinclair, who has been progressing very nicely. I just want to see him do more with the bat, though.
But interestingly, you say Gudakesh Moti, Romario Shepherd, and Kevin Sinclair, that you expect those three to stand out. But it's very interesting that you did not call Chanda Paul Etmire Rutherford naming that. Is that a matter of the strength of the team, Andre? Why he didn't call any of those three names?
But no, what I do believe is that the likes of Moti, Shepherd, and Sinclair. Well, I'm going to exclude Hetmire for the time being. But I think that Moti has grown so much. You know, yes, he's such a good bowler. Period. You know, whether it be white ball or red ball, I think he's a pretty good bowler. So I do expect Moti to be a really standout. I'm not so sure where Hetmire head is these days. Honestly, I don't know where Hetmire head is these days. So, you know, I'm not going to really I wouldn't put Hetmire in that, you know, category of, you know, to be a standout player. Tajari Chanda Paul, I still think that I really don't think that he's quite there in terms of a white ball batter. I really think that he still doesn't have what it takes. You know, he might be very solid, but I still think he has a lot of work to do in order to be very effective as a white ball batter. And Rutherford too, I think that he can be very inconsistent. He has proven to be very inconsistent. So, you know, I agree with Bobby. You know, that with those players. The player though, I probably expect though, I like the look of Kevin Anderson. I think he's a very, very good young batter. So I'm expecting a lot from Kevin Anderson also.
Alright, here's the Windward 11 that you have chosen, and the same question I asked Bobby about the three outstanding persons who you expect to dominate on behalf of the Windward Volcanoes in this tournament. Who are those three for you?
I'm picking Alec Athanaze, Kevin Hodge, and I'm expecting a lot from Shamar Spring. I think that the coming off a very good CPL tournament, he has a lot to you know, he has shown, I think he has grown in confidence, and I'm expecting a lot from him with both bat and ball.
What do you think about those three that Andre have chosen, and would you have chosen anyone differently?
Those three. I think he's pretty spot on with those three. But if I'm supposed to choose anybody else, it would probably be between Johnson Charles or Andre Fletcher. More like Andre Fletcher because, you know, he's been in good form lately. So it would probably be just Andre Fletcher.
Please remember to slash a like on the video and click on that subscribe button. But I'm giving you one name from the Windward Islands, and look out for that name, Ryan John, the all-rounder, the medium pace all-rounder. Look out for Ryan John in this tournament. Now, gentlemen, I know that both of you wants Jamaica to win this tournament. So you can now honestly tell me, Andre, where do you think the Windwards are going to finish in this tournament?
I think that the Windward will probably finish around 4th place. I'm giving the Windward Islands, to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Bobby, where do you think Guyana Harpy Eagles are going to finish?
I think they'll make it to the final, so either first or second.
So you think they will make it to the final? So it will be a Jamaica Guyana Harpy Eagle finals.
Jamaica is missing Brandon King. So
okay, but we'll get to Jamaica in another show. Today is, you know, I was just putting that in there. I just want to welcome the persons in the chat right now. Good evening, everyone. Meredith, good evening. How are you? Mr. Casanova, finally some Super 50 cricket. About disappointed King didn't recover. Yes, Mr. Casanova. The champion, good evening. Juna Davis, good evening.
Right.
Mr. Casanova is saying that's a Barbados and Guyana, and it's a Barbados and Guyana have a decent lineup. Yes, well, I agree with that. I thought he was going to say it's I was surprised the youngster Jordan not playing for Jamaica. You want to comment on that, Bobby?
Yeah, I think pretty much everybody was, but then I could see why he would be playing for the CCC. So I'm surprised, but I could see why. He's still gonna be playing, But I mean, I like that move where he would be playing against much experienced guys, So I always like that. I could see the reason behind
And
him
I
playing
think
for
some reason, I
CCC.
think him not playing for not being selected for Jamaica team and being selected for the development team is ensure that probably he plays as many games as possible, because probably playing for Jamaica, you might not, with so many experienced players in the Jamaica setup, they probably might not even give him, a lot of games. So I can see the reason for him playing for the development team, being selected for the development team.
You agree with that, Bobby?
Fully, I agree. Because maybe with Jamaica, he probably played 2-3 games. But I think on the CCC, he's one of the better batsmen. So he's almost guaranteed to play, 7 games.
Okay. Mr. Casanova, thank you for that comment, but we will look at it when we preview the Windward Islands Hurricane. Tony, our good friend, is saying that Permal should not play because West Indies will never select him again. Is that a good point Tony is making, that Permal is really using up, preventing a youngster from coming through, or it is Guyana is playing this tournament to win, so they should play their best players, doesn't matter age? What are your views on that, Andre?
That's a very, very tricky one right there. Well, first, I think
while Andre mull over, what do you think, Bobby? You go with your best team or you play the youngster?
Well, Permal is kind of like a wild card. I will accept Permal because Permal have been doing good. It's not like he's just been ordinary. He's just old and will never play for West Indies. But he's still quality, and we need quality in this tournament to develop these youths.
All right. Thank you for your comment, Brian Banton. But we will look at the Russell situation when we preview the Jamaica team. And Versame Permal is the captain of the Guyana team, Andre.
Yes.
What do you have a thought on it now?
Yes. The first time Permal, well, first I think that Guyana is going for a team that I selected a team that can win the tournament, right? That's the first thing I do believe. They select a team, so they've probably gone for the most experience of players, the persons who have done it for them time and time again. And Versame Permal has been one of the better first class cricketer. Period. He has the most first class wickets. So, and I don't think he's that old enough that he cannot contribute. I think he's not that old that he cannot contribute. So I don't really have a problem with Versame Permal, and I think he's picked specifically to captain the team because of his experience and how well he has done in for Guyana as a cricketer.
Yeah, maybe I have a about captain, but I am agreeing with Tony, because I do not see Cricket West Indies selecting Versame Permal again. And maybe someone else should have been playing, but probably Guyana just want him to captain the team to lend that mature head. Good evening, Sherwin. Good evening, Atina. Mr. Casanova is saying that spin is going to dominate this tournament again. What are your views, Bobby? And then I'll come to Andre for his views also on that.
Well, he has a point. All the games we were playing in Trinidad, right?
Yes. Andre, what's your view? While Bobby formulates, yes.
I mean, I think spin will always dominate in regional tournaments. The wickets are so slow and low that as long as we're playing, cricket in regional tournaments, especially anything over 20 overs, so 50 overs and 4 days, I think spin will play a big part because of the nature of the pitches that we play on. The wickets are very slow and low, so that they're suited for spin bowling, and it goes across whether it be for the males or the females, right? And I just to make a point the other day that Haley Matthews should be more on the point that all the West Indian batters, the females that is, they had difficulties playing when they played on the T20 tournament in Australia. How well they were able to time the ball, how the pitches were so good for batting, and she bemoaned the fact that a lot of the batters, the female, that they cannot develop their games because the pitches are so slow and low, and they just favor spin bowling. So if you realize that if in the female team they have a lot of spinners in the team and not a lot of quality pace bowlers or medium pace bowlers, so I do believe that.
Yeah, I just didn't want us to go. Yes.
I just want to make a point. Yes, the pitches will indeed take. I think that the spinners will dominate.
Okay, Bobby.
Yeah, looking at it now, I think the spinners will dominate because we only have probably, we have more good quality spinners than good quality fast bowlers. So,
okay.
Cornell
Owens, as I said, as you heard, Bobby said that Jordan Johnson, he will be in the CCC squad. Good evening, Chris. Welcome to the show. So Mr. Casanova is saying that one of his co-workers said that Rutherford can't bat. It is good that we're having a comment here from Sherwin. Sherwin is a Guyanese. Why would you leave the Windward Islands' biggest bowler, Preston McSweeney? Well, Sherwin is not in the squad, so you would maybe have to ask those who select the Windward Island Volcanoes squad. So and we can only pick from those who are in the squad. Tony saying that you guys saying Moti is a good bowler. Ains does not think so from his selection a few months ago. What you see in Ains, not seen. So Tony is just there complimenting us and telling us that Ains is not on the same metrics. Teddy Bishop, we are there from the, yes, Sherwin, but if the Teddy Bishop is in the West Indies Academy team, and we'll get to that, Sherwin. We'll get to that. So May is saying that I expect Imlak, Chanderpaul, and Sinclair to be the standout this tournament. So Bobby, there's Matrix Lever saying that it is going to be Imlak, Chanderpaul. Well, you have Sinclair. What you thought about that?
Imlak, not too sure about Imlak. But yes. I can see where Chanderpaul could break in because he's been working on his strike rate. But like Andre said earlier, I think he still have a few more things to do before he could, reach to that level.
Yes. So Athena is saying that he has no horse in this race, only open for a new generation of players. I would see that where I could have the power to direct the regional board to force them to select youngsters in their squad. I think that if Cricket West Indies want a player to play, they will instruct the regional board to play him, but I don't think that they will pick, definitely pick the 11. Andre, should we have seen more youngsters in this squad?
Most definitely. I think that this squad, I think they're for far too many senior players, far too many persons who I think they're over the hill. When you look at the like of Jason Mohammed, I think that he has gotten chance after chance. Why is Jason Mohammed still playing in Trinidad team? I'd rather seen a very promising youngster instead of Jason Mohammed, because I think Jason Mohammed will not get a chance or will not represent West Indies again. And you have a few others who I think that will not represent West Indies again. So I think that we should have seen a few more youngsters in the respective teams.
Okay.
I agree, Athena.
Okay, Sipwan is saying no, the West Indies coaching I think he's replying to the comment about Jordan Johnson. And he's saying that the better coaches are really at the West Indies level, so it will be good for Jordan Johnson. Bobby, Matrix Levi is saying that the Guyana team bat right down to 11.
They have a deep batting, but I don't think 11, maybe 9.
Yeah, maybe 9, because Simit and Beaton, I don't think really they are one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, gentlemen, the next issue I want to run through here as we move away from the regional 4-day tournament, because regional Super 50, I think we have exhausted the topic. Last night, the West Indies women made 107. Ali made 28, Rashada Williams made 23 and Ailey Matthews made 20, and then rain washed out the match. Once again, the West Indies top order, they were ultra aggressive. Andre, do you agree with this ultra aggressive approach from the West Indies women team? And Bobby, what are your views on this present West Indies coach? Please, Andre, you go ahead first.
Ultra aggressive. Well, let's look at Hayley Matthews for instance. I just think that is a way that Hayley plays her cricket. You know, I think that shot probably was a poor shot last night, and even I think Stephanie Taylor though is a bit surprising me. I think she's playing out of character. I realize even from the T20 games that she's playing out of character. She's normally far more measured in her approach, so it's a bit surprising to see the way she has approached her game over the past few games, right? But apart from those two, I really don't think whether they play in an aggressive fashion or not, it lacks quality so badly. I don't think the others, whether they play attacking or not, I don't think we just don't have the quality at all, to be honest.
But isn't that the reason why we should try to be more basic? Because I believe, and I'd have said it earlier this week, that while the coach wants them to be positive and aggressive, isn't that the learning curve is too steep? And he should be looking for incremental improvement in trying to put that philosophy on them that they should go hard. Andre?
Yes, I think that he's trying to tell them probably to, probably try to be a bit more aggressive in their approach to see if that probably will build their confidence, because looking at the batting, apart from Hayley Matthews and Stephanie Taylor, nobody averages over 20, which is really, really is very, very poor. Yeah. So, I just don't see a way. I just don't see any light at the end of the tunnel, to be honest, right now. And it's playing against Australia, the best team in the world. As I said, whether they have an aggressive approach or they come with a more timid approach, the result will probably be the same. So
yeah, we agree. We agree that whatsoever the approach that they are going to lose to Australia, it's just the approach I was asking you about. No matter what we do, it is expected.
He probably saying, listen, let us be aggressive and see if we can put some runs on the board. Because if they play around, keep on just trying not to get out, eventually they're going to get a good ball, and you're probably going to be out probably 5 from 40 balls and something like that. So he's saying, let us see. Take, for instance, Elaine. Elaine comes with a very aggressive approach, and she has made some runs, right? So he's probably thinking, let us see if we can come with a very aggressive approach to see if we can put Australian on the back foot. So I wouldn't blame him too much for the approach, really.
What is your view on this coach, Bobby?
I think this coach, he did not think this job through. I think he was not ready for this job. He took the job lightly, and I think that's it.
Yeah, he was not ready, and he would say that he came to eat a food.
yeah, he come eat a food, and then he realized what he was up against, and he's kind of stuck right now. He did not come with a plan.
Matters. Go ahead, Andre.
Honestly, I wouldn't blame the coach too much because he has very little to work with, First and foremost, I think that some of the selection has been very poor, though. Very, very poor. And we have very little to choose from. What I would blame him, though, I'd blame him for the first one-day game when he sent those...
I seem to lose.
When he sent those 2 teenagers to open is one of the worst cricketing decisions he could ever make. It was just a big blunder to send 2 young teenagers to open against with little or no experience against Australia. That I would blame him for. But apart from that,
as we lose Andre there, hope that he will come back. There are some things that Cricket West Indies are doing, Bobby, that we must appreciate it. They have named an A team, a women A team tour to go to Pakistan. It's the first time in the history of West Indies cricket we are putting on a woman. We are sending a women A team to another country, and that team will be captained by Rashada Williams, and the tour will last from the 17th of October to the 8th. I'm getting a terrible feedback. From the 17th of October to the 8th of November. That's when that tour will last. It will be 3 ODI against Pakistan, and then there will be a T20 tri-series that includes Thailand. And it's very good to see that Pakistan is including Thailand in this tri-series against the West Indies. And it goes back to our point that why instead of probably like the CCC, we never invited a League Two affiliate member, associate member team to come and play in our Super 50. So that is good work from West Indies. This is the squad. That's the 18 squad that have been selected, as you see there, Rashada Williams and Munisar, Ashmina Munisar, the under-19 captain. She will be the vice captain to Rashada Williams. So there's a team on the screen. Jenda Joseph is there, Guyana Joseph is there, Sherian Fraser. So that the person who I'm very interested in though is Sunil Shaw. She's a 16-year-old tall right-handed opener, I think, out of Guyana. That's a name that we need to watch out for. And once again, Sean Diaz will take charge of this team, and it will have Goodlin as the manager. Robert Samuels, interestingly, will be the assistant manager for that team. So that is good work from Cricket West Indies. We saw the under-19 team tour Sri Lanka. Immediately after the Super 50 is finished, the West Indies Academy will be hosting Ireland, and then these women are going to Pakistan all in the same time. What do you think about those work from Cricket West Indies, Bobby? What are your views?
Lovely. I love what they're doing. I hope they continue it. Also for the men's A squad and even a B squad. And like you said, I think they should have still kept CCC and invited another team, maybe a Bermuda, a Cayman Island, somebody else.
Okay. Andre?
Yeah, much credit.
Before I come to the comment in the comment section, we have seen 2 complete rounds of the World Cup gone so far.
Yes.
How do you view the World Cup at this time? What do you take from the race so far?
Very, very interesting World Cup thus far. One of the most interesting things thus far is to see that the mighty Australians, they seem to be struggling mightily. But I did say that I think Australia is not. I don't think they're as balanced as they could have been, really, because going in with one recognized spinner, and I think a lot of the players are really, they're short in terms of cricket. The captain Cummins is short in terms of cricket, and then a few of the batters, they seem to be struggling for form, right? But I think that the likes of South Africa, was always done well at the early part of the tournament. They have done pretty well thus far. The likes of New Zealand is firing on all cylinders, and New Zealand, we know, is a very, very good team. And I realized that even the players who have come into the New Zealand team, the new players, they're doing pretty well. So thus far, I think that the tournament, it has been. What I've realized is that there are so many one-sided victories thus far. Teams winning by over 100 runs. Which has been very, very, very. I wouldn't say shocking, but I think that a lot of the teams now, when they actually win, they win very, very big. And so that's a bit surprising, though. Not totally shocking, but a bit surprising in somewhat. But all in all, I think that we have seen some really good batting. I don't think the bowling the bowling has left a lot to be desired thus far. But in terms of the batting, I think we have seen some really good batting in the tournament thus far. And the shocking news is that the Australians have not seem to be really off the board.
Bobby, who do you think is going to win the tournament from here? Looking at the teams that have played so far, and who do you think are going to win?
I still say New Zealand. My money is still on New Zealand.
Yeah, but you shouldn't have any reason to change it. Interestingly, today, and I put the clip up on the home page, it is there. Labuschagne actually congratulated Joel Wilson, and as you know, Joel Wilson is the only West Indies umpire in the tournament. Because when Steve Smith was giving out leg before, there were contentions before DRS proved that he was out leg before. So when DRS came up and showed that Smith was actually out leg before, Labuschagne went to Joel Wilson and tell him congratulations. Let me just see what the chat is saying. And Andres, so Sherwin, let's see, Sherwin is saying Sherwin is not a Guyanese. I am just not biased. My dad is John Starker, Shakes record. I don't get it. Hear what Tony is saying here. Andre, you contradict yourself. Permal is over the hill. Same as Jason Mohammed. Same, West Indies will not select them. That's a good point, though, no, Andre. That's a good point, Andre. You need to defend that.
No,
that's a good point.
No. Right. Yeah, no. I think Permal is still a few years younger than Jason Mohammed. And also, Permal is a proven match winner over the years for Guyana. And the capacity that Permal is playing, he's playing as a captain. So I think that the role that he's playing as a captain, he makes a bit of difference. Right? Permal, as a captain, we're still younger, a few years younger than Jason Mohammed. And who I think has performed a bit better than Jason Mohammed. I agree. Permal is a senior member of the team, but not as say. I don't think he's quite over the hill as say a Jason Mohammed.
I mean,
you agree, Bobby?
Yeah, I agree. And the big difference with Permal and Mohammed, Permal is still performing. Mohammed is not really performing. So, like I said, if a guy is experienced and he's performing, I have no problem with him.
And guess what?
Even though he will
just
not
to say
play,
something else too, Bobby. If you compare the Trinidad team and the Guyana team, the Trinidad team have the average age of the other team is 31, and quite a number of the players are over 35. Unlike the Guyana team, the Guyana team is a much younger team, so nothing is wrong if they put in a much older player, say in his 30s. It's a different team, right? So the Trinidad team, most of the players are over 30. 31 is average player, unlike the Guyana team. Guyana have a lot of youngsters, so having a person like Permal as captain and who's a senior player, nothing is wrong with that.
Go ahead, Bobby.
Yeah. That's what I was gonna say. I mean, I still feel like in these competitions, even though the two main thing is development and showcase your talent for West Indies, I still think you still need a bit of experience. And if you have 1-2 guys who are over the hill, will not get selected for West Indies, but is still putting in the performance, I have no problem with them being there.
Okay, so Tony is saying that Chanda Paul is going to surprise us. So we look forward to that. So Christopher Bristol is asking Andre, what's your, I'm getting a feedback and I certainly don't like it. West Indies ladies should try to always back out their overs. When this is done, it will bring a level of confidence. That is true, Atina. I agree with you. Oh, thank you for that correction, Atina. Yes, Sonel is from Trinidad. She's from Trinidad. She's a very good batswoman. And Christopher Bristol is saying that Australia only do good. Christopher Bristol agree with you, Bobby. That is New Zealand all the way. Andre, one spinner as Australia went with. The same West Indies does over and over. You see where the ass is at? So he's asking you, the reason why Australia is struggling is because they only have one genuine spinner in the team. Do you agree, Andre?
I think that's part of the reason, you know, and I think what I think though is that another reason is that apart from them going with one spinner, the likes of the captain Pat Cummins. I think Pat Cummins is really struggling for form and for fitness. I don't think he's as fit as for match fitness. He's really struggling. And I think that Australia, they're in a bit of quandary where Pat Cummins is concerned. I think it's a big blunder though, first and foremost, for Pat Cummins to be the captain. You know, so Pat Cummins is the captain. He cannot be dropped. He's not playing well. And I don't think he's the most is the best tactical captain around. I really don't think so. And I think he puts the team in a lot of pressure because he's unable to, you know, to concentrate on his bowling and his captaincy. So the team is under tremendous pressure from that point. So apart from say some of the batters are struggling in terms of, also they're struggling in terms of Pat Cummins being the captain and Pat Cummins struggling for form. Right? And also,
Bobby, what are your views on Pat Cummins' captaincy?
Just one other thing, I also thought that Zampa, the teams that have played so far, they have played Adam Zampa pretty well. I think that, you know, they have really attacked Adam Zampa, you know, throw him off his game. And I think that, you know, it's a big blow to Australia when Adam Zampa is attacked.
Bobby, what is your view on the captaincy of Pat Cummins?
Well, if you look for Australia, the person that should be the real captain, he got banned. So he won't be captain again. You know? So if you look, I don't really see anybody else being captain other than Marsh, and Marsh is not performing good. So I think it's just one of those days where Australia is just in a spot. If you ask me, I think Australia's biggest problem is they should have never left Kawaja out of the team. And this ultra-aggressive approach that they have taken is actually causing them. And yes, they needed a second spinner in India. So
okay. Yeah, Tony is saying that he wish we were the selectors of the West Indies. I want to thank everyone for being here. But I want to say something just before I leave. Remember, I tell you so tonight, Australia is going to win the World Cup. Thank you, Andre. Thank you, Bobby. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Have a great evening now, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow evening.
Okay.
bless.